scared. They're asking me, Venus is turning retrograde. Are we going to break up? I'm already in a difficult relationship. Because modern astrologers have scared everyone that when the planet is retrograde, especially Venus, relationships start breaking up. There is a lot of dysfunction, but actually it's not true. Asian astrologers actually even considered a retrograde planet much more stronger, much more, especially if it's a benefic planet like Venus, because Venus indicates the good things in life, the pleasures, the enjoyable things. When it's retrograde, it tends to bring much more of those things into the life of a person. Why is this? Let me show you something. I'll demonstrate it with makeup because I have nothing else around, and makeup is Venus ruled. You know, anything which makes you beautiful beautifies you. So when a planet moves directly, when Venus moves directly, imagine this is the sun, this is the earth, maybe it's not that big, but, and this is Venus. When Venus is moving directly, Venus, the sun is between here. So the sun is between Venus and the earth. So Venus's rays have to pass through the sun to get to the earth. So its energy, it's not so direct. It doesn't come so directly onto the earth. It's much further away. But when Venus goes retrograde, this is when it doesn't really go retrograde. It looks from the earth like it's moving backwards. But actually Venus is then between the sun and the earth. So its rays don't have to pass through the sun, they go directly onto the earth. So it's all Venusian ruled things like beauty, like women, like pleasures, like good food, wine, enjoyments, luxuries, comfort, you know, good times. This is the physical, sensual enjoyments that Venus rules, the pleasurable views, the enjoyable things, relationship. All those things become so much more intense and so much more happening onto the earth because Venus has the straight influence. But sometimes if you have a badly placed Venus in the horoscope, basically you will know if you have a badly placed Venus in the horoscope, because when Venus turns retrograde, you start having problems with Venus things, because Venus just will when Venus is retrograde so close to the earth, its vibrations will enhance and blow up anything that Venus is that Venus rules. And if your Venus naturally in your horoscope is difficultly placed with bad aspect, in a bad dignity, in a difficult house, all Venusian things, when Venus triggers them into your life, all of a sudden they become more of a source of tension. But you'll still get a lot more of those Venusian things, a lot more dates or a lot more relationship, being involved with relationship matters, or being involved with beautifying things, making them, you know, anything a bit more creative, all those Venusian things. But if your Venus is well placed in your horoscope, then all those Venusian things, you get them much more in abundance when Venus is retrograde, but in a positive way. So maybe half of humanity will have a bit more difficulties and relationship problems because they naturally have a difficult, more complicated position of their Venus. And then Venus, as we said, increases the vibration of this difficult Venus in their own horoscope when it's closer to Earth, when it's retrograde. But a lot of people actually have really well-placed Venuses. So all of a sudden Venus goes retrograde and they go on more dates, they go and get a haircut and they love it, they go and get the best dress ever and they love that dress, they go to a party and they look the best, you know. While those with the worst placed Venuses, they can still buy more clothes, they can still go on a few dates more than other times because Venus energy is increased. But this can be a source of a bit more tension for them, a bit more, not so much satisfaction. The result might not be, or they can overdrink, they can overeat, they can overindulge on things, which is Venusian, a bit more negative effects getting out of that. Or you can go on a great date and maybe get, you know, an STD or something. I'm not saying that it has to be so bad, but this is the effect, so don't get scared. For people who have great Venuses, Venus brings more of its good things. For people with bad Venuses, it still brings more of Venusian things, which are generally pleasant, which are generally enjoyable. They will enjoy them for the moment, but the results might not be eventually so productive, or they might not lead to anywhere. They can be a bit more painful as a result. Just like overeating can be a bit more painful while you enjoy it, while you do it, you know. So yes, so that's why also Venus, when it moves backwards, there can be love that comes back to your life from before. Or maybe if you're already in a relationship, you can revive a relationship with your partner. You can get a little bit more you know what I mean, intimate. If you haven't dressed up for him in years, all of a sudden you can buy, nice suspender belt and put it for him and just spice things up a bit, because Venusian impulses increase during that time, whether for better or for worse, doesn't matter, but Venus is naturally positive planet. So we'll enjoy that. And just I want to say this year, 2013, 2014, the beginning, Venus turns retrograde in Capricorn. So Capricorns and also the opposite sign Cancer can get to meet someone, can get to have a lot of very positive Venusian experiences in their life. Because Venus will transit those two signs, and particularly those of you who have their ascendant or sun or moon from about 13 to 30 degrees in Capricorn. It means basically those who are born from the January born Capricorns will experience Venusian things, maybe more of pleasant things, more of enjoyments, more of amusements, because Venus rules those, more of sensual dates, maybe meeting someone new, maybe being more, all those more sensual as a person, more charming, more pleasant, creating more relationships around them, beautifying something around them, coming up with great, beautiful, balancing, harmonizing ideas as well. So the Capricorn people with ascendant or moon from around 13 degrees to 30, or those who have their ascendant in Cancer from 13 to around 30 degrees, they can also experience love. And the Capricorns born in January mostly for this Venus retrograde. Thank you so much, and please don't be scared from Venus retrograde. It can be fantastic for a lot of you. If anything, it can bring love like never before for many of you.